Hey guys, 7-Star Mike here for the new Trade Talk Media, where we help retail traders simplify trading and increase their profits. If that sounds like something cool to you, hit that subscribe and notification button so you don't miss out on any of the exciting content we're about to bring you. And today, let's talk about VWAP. So today we're going to talk about VWAP. And this is part of the Trading Made Simple series, so I'm going to keep this really simple. You might have heard the term VWAP from time to time and you're thinking, what is that? VWAP is volume weighted average price. And all that it's doing really simply is taking the number of shares sold times the price they've been sold and averaging that out. So let's take a quick example here. If I buy 10 shares at $10, and you buy 40 shares at $15, we don't average $15 and $10 because you had more shares at 15 than I did at 10. So what we're going to do to average that out is take the $700 spent between the two trades, divide that by 50, which is the total number of shares between the two of us, and the average price is $14. So we would plot $14 on the chart if that's what we're looking for here. So the volume weighted average price is simply taking the average price, combining that with the volume at each price, and it's plotting a line on our charts. Today we had an awesome example of why we like to look at VWAP. So let's pull up Microsoft and see what's going on. So we're going to take a look at Microsoft. This is a 1-minute chart for today. Microsoft had a great day, up 7.04. So that's 3.71%. Pretty good day for Microsoft. And what you can see is we have a little pop and a pullback, a pop and a pullback, a pop and a pullback. And it kind of ran most of the day here. So one of the things we're looking for if we're in this trade is when it pulls back, where might it pull back to? So if we missed an entry, where might we get another entry? Or if it starts turning against us, where are we going to cut this? There are various levels of support and resistance, but today we're going to look at VWAP. So on Thinkorswim, go to your studies and just type in VWAP. You'll see that it comes up as the first one. It's pretty standard there. So any charting platform is probably going to have VWAP. It's one of the most common things on charts. So we're going to go ahead and add that to the chart. There's something I'm going to show you here. I have my settings set up a little bit differently than the standard. So when I put that on the chart, one thing you're going to notice is there's only a single line. And I'll get to this in a second, but what I want to show you why we even watch it, we had a nice run, but when it pulls back, it goes right to the VWAP there. We have another run. It pulls back right to the VWAP there. You can see it breached it a little bit, but the very next candle was right back above it. We had a run, pullback, run, pullback, right to the VWAP, and then it goes off the rest of the day. So one of the things we're looking for when it's pulling back is VWAP going to hold as support? And you can see 1, 2, 3 times it was perfect support. We had some pullbacks later on that didn't quite make it down to the VWAP level. So sometimes we'll look to see how extended it is from the VWAP. In this case, we had 3 touches perfectly. So let's say you missed this first run here. You see that it bounces off VWAP. That's another entry as long as it's bouncing up and sustaining. If you miss that run, it bounces and holds again. You can get another entry there. If you miss that run, it bounces here and starts climbing again. So we like to use the VWAP as support and resistance. In this case, it's acting as support for most of the day. Now on your settings, mine is going to look a little different because I've changed the settings. On yours, the standard is actually going to have an upper and a lower band. So if I put those on there just by clicking show plot, what you're going to see is 2 more lines to the upper and lower levels of the VWAP. And what that's doing is that's actually plotting standard deviations. In this case, this one is set to 2. You can see up here in the title, VWAP, and then -2 and +2. So sometimes you can see here it actually respects that level as resistance, goes down to the main VWAP, goes up, it respects that level as resistance, drops, respects that level as resistance. Over here, it's a little bit of resistance. Over here, a little bit as well. It does pop through a little bit here and there. So one of the things you can look for are support and resistance on these upper and lower levels here. For me, I actually like a little bit less on my charts. If you've seen me chart or trade live, you've seen a lot of very basic charts. Now, I do like to put a few things on my charts here and there, but I really like to keep them as clean as possible. So when I'm using the VWAP as a check for support and resistance or potential support and resistance, I actually like to keep those upper and lower levels off. That's just personal preference. Some people love them on, some people don't pay attention at all. I'm in the group that just says I want as little as possible on my screen. I really want to watch the candles and the volume, and too many lines will be distracting. But VWAP, you can see how it perfectly bounces 3 times and acts as support here. So that's one of those things you can keep your eyes on, add that to your charts, see if it works, see if it helps for you. Sometimes it doesn't work as perfectly as it did here. This really is an awesome example of where it just worked out perfectly for the day. Again, we didn't quite pull back over here, but when we're farther extended, when we get pullbacks, we're looking to see if maybe it will stop there as it did in this case here. So pull up VWAP, see if it helps for you. Leave some comments below. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if it doesn't work for you. And you'll find that some tickers respect it, some don't. And some tickers that respect it some days won't on other days. So again, like anything, it's not a perfect indicator where you're going to be able to put it on your chart and just make $1 million. It doesn't work like that. If it were that easy, we would all be cajillionaires. So this is just one tool to add to your arsenal to see if it might help you out. I am 7-Star Mike for Trade Talk Media, and I will see you on the charts.